What's up YouTube, Infectazine here coming at you guys with a new segment called Break That Deck. And then this is a segment where I'm going to teach you guys how to play against a deck, what to side against them, how to play certain cards, etc. Now before we get started, I do want to say that this is not a fucking deck profile, so I'm going to get 1,000 comments saying, the fuck, this deck sucks dick. It very well could. I don't know what this deck does on its free time, don't get me wrong, but it's not a deck profile, so whatever it does on its free time is not on my account. And if you guys want to continue watching the segment, leave a like rating and let me know what decks you guys want me to talk about down below. So yeah, Mermails is probably one of the best decks this format, to be honest. And reason being is because it can OTK and it can just hold you down. Mermail players are now playing traps in their main deck to combat like other decks that play 1,000 fucking traps. This is not a deck. Oh my god, this deck is so bad. Just to begin with, like 2 Wing Blasts. I was just testing that randomly one day. It's a deck that is really good, has OTK potential, like easily. Can make rank 7 plays, can make synchro plays, can spam cards out, can do whatever the fuck it wants. Like, it's a boss ass bitch that doesn't give a fuck what you have to think about. It'll just do what it wants when it wants because it can. And at first I struggled playing against this deck, honestly. Like, I thought this deck was unbeatable, but I've played against this deck so many fucking times, locals, YCS, regionals, that I think I just have playing against this deck down pat. That like, you only lose when, you know, they obviously have better cards than you. But I do think that I play against this deck very, very well. But then again, that is just you know, a random fact. So pretty much the way you want to play against this deck is you want to let most of their plays go through unless they go into an XYZ. Of course, if you have Mirror Force and you're going to plus more than +1 off of it, activate the Mirror Force. But generally they're going to go like Special Summon TS in defense mode. Then they're going to do some like maybe Pike Search, whatever. They're going to swing for 16. You take it. You just take it like a little bitch. It's fine. Then next one they're going to go Megalo. They might swing. You can Mirror Force if you have the option to. If you have like a Compulse, you obviously save it. They overlay for Gaios, Draco Sack, Big Eye, you Compulse that. And you pretty much just want to dwindle down their resources because they're going to try to drop big ass monsters on you and try to beat you as fast as possible. And you pretty much just take as much as you can until you really can't anymore. And then you hit them back after you take out all their resources and attack them directly. And I mean, maybe that's just how I play against the deck, but I really do. I really have way more wins than losses against Mermails. Maybe it's just my luck. Maybe I just generally play better against Mermails for some fucking reason. I don't know, but that seems to work for me. You really do not want their spheres to ever go through. So what I always do is I always save my MSTs in this matchup solely for Abyss Sphere. I don't care if I get Mirror Force. I don't care if I get Solemn Warning. I don't care if I get Wing Blast or whatever else you're playing. But they cannot get Sphere to resolve. It really just helps you. I mean, you really don't need your MSTs for anything else except Sphere. You really want to negate it. And you're obviously not negating it, but you know, I'm just using that joke for other people to hate me for. That's what I do. And so pretty much what I do, if I have 2 cards in my hand, or let's say I have 3 cards in my hand, let's say I have Compulse, Bottomless, MST, I always say Compulse, Bottomless. I fake as in I don't have MST, I'm just go end. And they always activate it. I always throw down MST, I go on my phone and I play Boss Ass Bitch. And then they cry and they're like, why the fuck do you have that song on your phone? And then I say it's my mom's song. And it gets weird after that. So then that's what I always do with MSC. Like, I really always just do that game 1. And again, like, you just really need to play around them. Tidal is a bitch in this deck. It really fucking is. Just a recurring beat stick is ridiculous. That's the only problem now with the New Age Mermails is the Tidal. But whatever. I mean, you can't really do much against that. So that's pretty much how you play game 1. And then game 2, here I'll have some side deck cards that you can side in. If you're not manning 3 MSTs, of course you side in a 3rd MST. Dust Tornado, Soul Drain, because all other effects activate in Graveyard, namely Linde, Gunday, the Atlanteans, Tidal, Fishborg Archer, those kind of things activate in their graveyard. So if you can activate this and they don't have the MST for you, they're gonna need to keep waiting until they get the MST, or they can go Draco Sack kind of thing. So it helps pretty significantly Soul Drain if you can draw into it early on. And I do recommend this if going first against them. Going second, I really don't like it because they already pretty much get out the resources. if they're going first. So I like to side this in if I'm going if I'm going first against them, especially in a deck that I can deck in a lot and I can, sorry, excuse me, you know, have a easier chance of drawing into this. Defissure and Macrocosmos are just cards that I'll just games 2 and 3 have them in if I have access to side this into them, because what you do is you just activate this right away. Their hand traps are null. All their effects activate in graveyard, again, the ones that I told you. Even Maxie and Valor now are not going to be able to activate because they're going to get banished instead of sending to graveyard. Therefore, their effects will not fully activate. And there goes my fucking dog barking every fucking time I make a fucking video. Dumbass dog. Fuck. I'm just kidding. Next you got Banisher, which is pretty much exactly like them, but it's a level 3 and it's a monster form. So it's a 1600 wheel, macro, and DeFi that are at 1. So I mean, you can side this in again if you want to. I like this better going first, but going second is not bad at all, especially because they can run over Lind, since Lind's stats are both worse than his 1600 attack. So pretty much Banisher is good as a good call as well. So those are 3 good cards that you can probably pretty much put them in games 2 and 3, regardless of which if you're going first or second. Now Maxie is a good card against this deck because they're usually going to special summon at least once or twice per turn. We're talking about they go reveal TS, you chain Maxie. If it's a 1-for-1, it's a 1-for-1. You don't really care. But sometimes you just maybe they go like discard Gun Day, special reveal TS. You chain Maxie, you're gonna draw some cards, and you're just gonna be happy, man, drawing into your outs like Dark Hole and stuff like that. It's just a good card. It's a good card against any deck that can OTK because you can just at least 1-for-1, which is pretty much a free Upstart Goblin, and it's just great. I mean, really, just phenomenal. Next is probably the best card to side against him, in my opinion. That I'm loving this side deck card against him, this format at least, because it's, you know, more it's more splashable against a lot of other decks, namely Bujin's Fire Fists, and just Geargia's, just a lot of other decks. So Mind Crush is a really good side deck card this format. So Mind Crush, if you don't know, is like when they reveal from their hand to special summon, like when they go activate TS, discard something, they have to reveal the card, so you can just Mind Crush it. They get the discard effect, but they don't get their search, which is very, very important, because they can go TS, discard Pike. Let's say they're just in a terrible spot. They go TS, discard Megalo, you Mind Crush the TS, they lost their Megalo, they lost their TS, nothing. Let's say they even go Atlantean, excuse me, let's say this is your only face down card. They go discard Marksman to reveal TS to discard Marksman, whatever, I don't even fucking know what I'm saying at this point. Then the Marksman will obviously be targeting Mind Crush, but you're gonna go chain Mind Crush, targeting their TS, they lose both their cards, he doesn't get the search from TS when it's special summoned to search a level 4 lower Mermail. And you're just happy camper, and you're gonna just set up a board presence against him and be happy and don't worry. So it's a really good card. Megalo's the same way. If you knew that they search out a card via Pike, via Dragoons, via TS, you can Mind Crush them, see their hand, all that good stuff. And it's just all in all a really, really, really good thing. They go salvage late game, and you're just fuck you, and you're not salvaging shit. Mind Crush. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really good card side deck against them and in a lot of other decks. So if you want to break those decks too, definitely side in Mind Crush. Fossil Dine is a card I side in going first against them. I don't like it going second against them because of their access to Marksman whenever they want, searching via Pike. And it's just not a good, I don't like it going second, because I mean, in that case, you know, going first, setting him on your opponent's turn, but it just doesn't work out like that. It can't even run over Abyss Linde if it was in face down defense position, so it's just not good going second. But going first, summoning Dine sitting on 3 or 4 back row is obviously breaking them, like just really breaking them. And then Vanity's Emptiness, just because you don't want them to special summon them, to special summon monsters in general. You really don't want that. I mean, if you would want that, you're probably not playing Yu-Gi-Oh correctly. So you pretty much just flip up Fossil Dine on a key point. Namely, whenever, again, when they reveal, let's say they discard Marksman to target your face down with TS, you chain the Emptiness. It can't target it because it's not face down anymore. They don't get the TS summon because Vanity's Emptiness is out, so it goes to graveyard, and they just wasted 2 cards, and you are one happy camper most likely. You can also side deck things like Thunder King, or Mistake and stuff like that, which I made a video of recently if you want to check out my channel. Because what Thunder King does is neither player can add cards to their hand, so when they go Pike, they go TS, they go Megalo, and I think those are the only 3 searchers. They can't search, and that's 9 cards out of their main deck that you're nullifying. So you can definitely throw these into your side deck. But I mean, it's not bad in a sense, but I don't know. I'd rather have room for the other cards ahead of time. But if for some reason you have access to a $38 card and you don't have access to the other cards, which are like $1 or $2 a piece actually, except for emptiness, I don't know. I mean, they're good cards again, like I said, because of the fact that you can. Oh, they have dragoons to search too. So they have a fourth of their deck they can't search, and you're sitting on a 1900 beat stick. If they do, the only problem is that they can still go Megalo, but they won't get their search, but they can just run over you. Mistake, of course, will just screw them hard, but you will take 2400 to the face. I mean, you're just stopping their searches so they can't search into marksmans and stuff like that. And all in all, this deck is a good deck. Very, very good deck. It's one of the top decks of the meta by far. But if you side deck accordingly and you play your cards right game 1, you really shouldn't have too hard of a problem against them. Unless, of course, they open up the absolute fucking nuts and you just open up bad. But that's going to always happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! And you really can't control that. But this series is more about the stuff that you can control and how to play against them correctly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if you guys like this kind of thing, but if you did, please leave a like rating and comment down below what other cards you guys want me to break. That doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound wrong either, but whatever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, again, enjoy. That's awesome. You're awesome for that. And Infect is in and out. Have a good one, guys. Peace.